Okay, good morning, everyone in the States, and good afternoon, everyone who's not in the States and is far east of us. I'm Jason. I'm with Soul Seeker, and actually, I am on Soul Seeker today. I am here on site, been doing some work at the boat, got a weekend, and decided to take advantage of it. So, for those of you who are joining us, our boat is a solar electric, strictly solar electric. There's no gas, there's no generator, there's no sails. there's nothing but solar and electricity, and that's kind of the allure. Is the geek out moment for us? Is that we've also got our co-host here, Aaron, and Aaron, you are in the car. Tell us where you're going, brother.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Aaron from Extraordinary Horizons. We're down here in sunny South Florida. It's a little bit chilly today. We're heading down right now as we speak. We're en route to the Fort Lauderdale boat show down
Let's
here in
go.
Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, so we're stuck in traffic right now, unfortunately, and I'm in the car. But we'll do what we got to do.
I love it. Aaron, tell us a little bit about Extraordinary Horizons for people who are new to the show.
Yeah, for those of you who are new, Extraordinary Horizons is a 65-foot power catamaran, no sails, diesel engines for now. Um, Planning on possibly hybriding it out with diesel and electric with some solar. In the process of rebuilding, renovating, rebuilding, refitting, all of the above. Majorly getting it back, bringing her back to life. She's a one-off custom power cat, and yeah.
She's a beauty, I'll tell you, a big girl. So we also have our co-host Patrick Mackay, who is out in Greece. He's with Sailing Electra. He has actually called in sick today, so keep him in your thoughts and prayers. And we're going to go ahead and tag team this one today with Aaron on the road and me on the hard. So let's start off with our disclaimer. We just want you to know that, hey, this is our experience and what we're doing in our crazy adventures. We don't really attest to or warranty or guarantee anything. So there is that. Now, Aaron, you had the arduous task of coming up with today's topic. And I like that you chose what you chose because it's actually a nice segue from last week's topic. And those of you who are watching or live, or if you're watching later, go back and look at episode 19. Patrick came up with the concept of the mast. Should it stay or should it go? And that conversation led to a very interesting conclusion that I think you'll love and enjoy. I also want to remind everyone, if you throw in the comments, I can never know on the screen where to point. If
Yeah.
you throw in the comments something that pertains to the conversation, we're very likely going to put that on air and take a moment and talk about it. But we're going to be a little brief today because I got a lot of stinking work to do. And frankly, Aaron has a lot of focusing on the road to do so he's safe. And so, without any further ado, Aaron, lead us into the topic and then I'll move us to the slideshow.
Yeah. So about 4 years ago, when I got into this crazy world of lifestyle boating, like live aboard a boat, like have no house and live aboard a boat, um, I started doing digging on every possible thing I could get my hands and feet and everything into. So I came across a few people. I think it was on YouTube or Google. I don't even think I used YouTube at the time. On Google and maybe Facebook, using kite sails, like not a spinnaker sail, but a kite sail, an actual kite sail, which can be fitted to just about any boat.
So you're
And it
talking like a kite surfer would use, yeah?
was very, very similar to a kite surfer or a parachute, or
Cool.
there's a multitude of different ways that people do these things, because on a boat, unlike a house or a car, it's the Wild West out there, really. I mean, there's a lot, people go out there in their bathtub, so to speak. So there's a lot of different freedoms that you can have when you're on a boat, where you can just experiment and figure out what works and what doesn't work and keep doing more of what works. So I started doing some research into this kite stuff because I'm I'm not a total eco extremist, but who doesn't want to save the earth that we live on, right? Who doesn't want to live in a cleaner environment, not burn
Dump
gas and
less oil in
diesel?
the ocean,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
right. Dump less oil in the ocean, save the fish and all this stuff, save the marine environment.
all the
So
things.
I went on this quest to figure out how I could save more fuel, and I came across people using kite sails and parachutes and kites. And then back 4 years ago, there was a couple of companies, not many, that were adapting, retrofitting these kite sails ish to put on a boat. And I saw that and I'm like, wow, I can use a kite to pull a boat. At this point, there was no boat in our life. But I was just looking around for different ways to do this thing for two reasons. One, like I mentioned, saving the marine environment, and the other is diesel costs a lot of money,
Yeah.
especially when you want to go far distances. And boats, unlike cars, they burn because you're putting a lot of pressure and tension on the motors, and they burn more than a car does. So, you're talking about some of the larger boats burning 30 gallons to 50 gallons an hour. So if you do the math, a gallon of diesel costs about $4 to $5 a gallon, and you're burning 30 to 50 of those gallons at 3 to 5 an hour. That's a lot of money. So I was searching to figure out a better way. And I was like, wow, like Jason put the slide up there. Like that's for real. Like, and it's becoming more and more and more real as time and technology move us forward, where you could get this kite thing online, and there's companies out there that make an autopilot, and they make uh, reels that are motorized, like winches for sails and stuff similar to that. That you can automate this whole thing, or you can take it back old school. Sorry about the GPS. You could take it back old school, and you can control these lines with winches, with crank winches and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, there's and everything in between. So the whole thing intrigued me. Then I started reading. Oh well, it only works in one wind situation, downwind. So you can only use it in a downwind situation. And then I started digging more because I love researching. I love knowledge, and that's not factual. There's people out there that are using it upwind, downwind, broad reach, every way, every wind.
Whoa,
So
whoa, whoa! Upwind.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my.
I mean, you have to have good support where the kite is on your connections, where the kite is connecting. But you can use it in every different wind situation.
Okay, let me
Um,
throw something in there
yeah,
because if you're watching and you beg to differ or you want to
yeah.
engage in the
Comment.
argument, this is your chance to comment because we
Yeah,
got Aaron as a captive audience. He's stuck in a moving vehicle.
yeah,
His wife is driving, so we can't even let him off of the hook by saying, well, he's got to focus on the road.
yeah,
No, this is your chance to argue with this man. I love it. And he will actually argue back.
yeah.
Okay,
I
so when
mean,
we jump into the next slide here, Aaron, we're
yeah,
looking at 3 images from a company that I'll let you lead into, but these are big boats. These aren't little boats.
yeah. These are.
And
Go ahead.
these suckers are looking like they've got gale force winds pulling them along.
Okay, so to back up a little bit, the kite stuff is really nothing new. There's tanker ships and cargo ships out there in the ocean using a kite type of apparatus, this kite type of um, situation to pull them through and help them economize their diesel. And it's using kite assist, right? So it's out there. It's been out there. It's been out there for many years, and they're doing it. So the slides that are up there right now I believe, is from a company. If I'm looking at the right slides, I can't really see because I'm on my cell phone.
Yeah,
It's
that's Liberty Kite.
yeah, it's by the company by the name of Liberty Kite. So, in my travels of doing research, I found Liberty Kite, and Liberty Kite is doing it the old school way with there's no electronics, right? It's lines and a kite. So to me, that's intriguing because there's less things to break, right? There's less things to break. There's less things to learn. There's less things to watch, and I don't know if I totally trust electric an electric kite on total autopilot pulling me along the ocean. That's my opinion. That's my perspective. Other people may think differently, but that's mine. So, I mean,
Okay, but why? What do you not trust?
I I you lose total control like that. Like I like to be able to monitor and track and control. It's just
Fair
me.
enough.
And if I'm gonna push a button and have a kite pull me, uh, that's kind of like being on a plane, which I don't necessarily like either, and the pilot's on autopilot. So
Yeah. Now, I did move us to the next slide where we look at Liberty Kite's different options.
yeah,
They've got the 10 meter squared, 20,
yeah,
40, and 80. Now, I want to interject real quick. We are not paid.
no,
This solar sailing is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form by Liberty Kite or any of the companies that we're going to look at here. This is strictly us looking into what's out there and imagining it on our boats, right?
yep, yep, yep. So Liberty Kite has these different size kites, and I believe they have one more that they're testing that's even larger now. It's not on the website yet.
Whoa.
Yeah, for even larger boats. Yeah, because they've proven the concept that the thing works. It works. I have another buddy that has a Liberty Kite. Unfortunately, he's been real busy refitting his boat, and he hasn't had a chance to test it yet. Um, but they have these kites from all sizes, ranging from, I believe, Jason, on here is a 20-meter kite, all the way up to maybe an 80-meter kite. I
Yeah,
can't.
80 meters. 80 meters.
Yeah. So, I mean,
That's a big
granted,
kite.
these things are not going to pull you. At least me, a 65-foot power catamaran. She's a real heavy girl. They're not going to pull you 20 knots.
Right.
They're not going to pull you 15 knots. They're going to pull you maybe 5 to 7 knots.
God, I'll
I
take
don't
that
know.
all day.
I haven't tested it yet on mine. But I mean, if I can get 5 to 7 knots out of it with
We're cruising.
basically from the wind, sailing's not free, but just consider for a second you're getting the wind, which is free.
Yeah.
But the equipment costs money, right?
Yeah.
So, but consider for a second that the wind is free, and you're getting 5 to 7 knots at 4, 5, 6, 7 knots, in in optimal conditions, obviously. And
Brother, that's where you toss some lines in the water and let it troll you along, man. Let's go.
correct, correct, exactly. And that's my. And you're not. So on it's like cruise control on a car. You don't put cruise control on a car when you're in the city. You
Right.
use cruise control when you're on the highway, and you want to relax a bit, and you want to cruise, or you want to coast.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with these kites. They're more for a long distance travel, right? Where you're not going to be stopping and going, or obviously you're not going to have to go under a drawbridge that's going to raise itself. You don't want to do that kind of thing.
That won't work. Yeah.
No, no, exactly. Like this is for coasting out in the ocean. So, or in an open area where you would
Right.
fly a kite, basically.
Right.
So, yeah.
This is great, man. Now, I want to point out that I did I like to use Grok. You can use the AI of your choice. I don't know why I use Grok. I just do. Um, and I asked Grok, since we were on this topic, I was like, all right, rank the top five kite sale options
Oh wow.
and put them in order from most affordable to least affordable. And Liberty Kite came in like massive at $1,650
Yeah.
entry level,
Yeah.
entry level. And then I asked also to include a contrasting details column about each one. Now, here's what's funny: when you're using AI, all right, you have to treat it like um,
You can go.
Google search on steroids, where it's giving you a whole lot of really good stuff, but you still have to verify the stuff. You can't just like take it at face value and go, oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
biblical truth. I mean, no, it's you have to actually get in there and go look. Here's an example: positions 2 and 3 on the chart that Grok gave. It says Kite Boat Systems, and then it says Wing It Wing Commander.
Yeah.
And then it says number 3, Wing It Germany. That's the same company.
Yeah.
Why did you give me numbers 2 and 3 as the same company?
Well,
And
I
so,
can let me interject for a second. So this
yeah,
is
go
it.
ahead.
I like this slide. I can't. I was trying to zoom in on it feverishly, but I can't. So, and I haven't seen this slide yet. Jason hasn't shown this to me yet.
Curveball.
Um, yeah, Wing It and Wing It Germany is the same company, I believe, and they're the company that does the autopilot, which is the whole system is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
But it's super duper expensive.
Yes.
It's 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 very let's say it's costly. It's extremely costly. But go ahead. I
Well, and
can't
what
see
you're
who's next
essentially
on the
doing
list.
there is you're buying a propulsion system, which you
Yeah.
can look at and go, okay, let's treat it like on land. What would that be? That's a car. I'm buying a small car.
Yeah.
And so in
Well,
this case, it's 24 to 27,000. Like, not the end of the world, but that's a lot.
yeah. Well, Jason, the Wing It is the I believe the exclusive provider for silent yachts. That's the kite that is fitted into the silent yachts.
I think you're
So
right.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
And it's
I
really,
would.
it comes down to their autopilot, right? Like it keeps it afloat for you.
Yeah, it
Or
does.
aloft. Aloft would be the right word.
It does virtually almost everything. Correct.
Until something goes wrong with that autopilot software
Sure.
and oh crap.
Yep.
Now what do we do? Now the other one that it lists in here, it does list number 4, Beyond the Sea, which is Sea Kite,
That's
starting at 55,000. I was like, holy
okay.
crap.
So Beyond the Sea is also another company which Liberty Kite owns.
Oh,
That's the parent company. Yes. Yep.
gotcha. And so
Who's
then you've
next?
got Sky Sails Yacht, which it
Yeah.
says, now again, I haven't verified anything,
Mhm.
starting at
Okay.
$330,000.
So Sky Sail Yachts is no longer making kites for boats. That
See another example.
that that division is now out of business, and they are focused on kites for commercial and these type of situations, which is also extremely cool. All of this started with with land kites, okay,
Yeah.
and then some crazy person said, "Wow, let's see how we can make this work on a boat."
Well,
Um,
and the concept is awesome because let's be real. You're getting rid of the lightning rod,
yep.
which last week I called the giant erection.
Hmm.
Sorry, Char's present. I shouldn't talk about those things.
Oh,
And then we've got the idea of eliminating the boom but keeping the mast. Well, you still have the giant lightning rod, and if you're going under any bridges or any kind of thing that requires clearance,
yeah.
forget about it. You're out. You got to take that down. And so the kite allows you that option, which is
Portable.
brilliant. Yeah.
Portable.
And like you said, you throw it out there when it's time and you pull it back when it's not, and suddenly
Yeah.
you're a cruiser again. Now, as I move to the next slide, I wanted to give fair airtime to Wing It. And so I'm just showcasing here from
Yeah.
their website their components to their system. And as you can see, like that is very, very doable to accomplish what we're talking about, where you've got something that doesn't have a giant lightning rod in the sky, but at the same time gives you, as we've just been talking about with Aaron, 5 knots plus,
Yeah.
six
So
knots. We're
let me
good.
let me break in for a sec. So
Yeah, go for it.
there. like like we're talking about, there's these companies out there that are producing and manufacturing these kites from mild to wild, right? From manual to autopilot. And then I came across on Facebook a, a guy in Australia that is using these kite surfing kites, like old ones that are, and parachutes that are no longer operable, and he's fixing them, and he's making his own mast with a piece of wood. It's a short mast though, it's not a lightning rod. It's a short mast, probably, I think he said 8 or 10 feet, and he's flying these old kites that are no longer in service for what they're intended to be off Hobie cats and other kind of boats. And there's video, like he's doing video upwind, downwind, side wind, all wind.
No kidding.
Yeah, and it's crazy. So I contacted him a little while ago to see, try to get some information and see how he's doing. He's not selling anything.
Sure.
Um, he's just using it for himself and going out there and being crazy. But it's all of this stuff is super intriguing to me. On like the seeing, I'm seeing it work. Like I'm seeing these people actually out there doing that, and you know, there's all the proofs right there. Like people gonna still tell you, oh, you can't do it, but when you're looking at somebody doing it, and
Watch
you're
me.
saying,
Yeah.
and you're watching them, and you're on the other hand, you're saying this can't be done. Like how do you can't deny that it's
Well,
being done.
that's perfect because here's a screenshot from their video on Wing It, and they
Yep.
show the setup. Now look at that. That's a full grown man on the right, and there's that little tiny mast
Yep.
support structure for the kite. Like, come on,
It's tiny.
that is cool.
It's tiny. Yeah, I mean, it's tiny. Like there's and the technology right now, it the whole kite boat thing hasn't really taken off yet. It's still at its infancy, in my opinion, and the technology is moving like super crazy. So but on the flip side, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of companies that are diving into the space to try to produce or adapt something like this. So
Yeah.
maybe that'll change. Maybe it won't. The marketplace is also not super adapted yet. They still think, oh, it's not going to work. Oh, it doesn't work. Oh, it's not going to work as well as I want it to work. So they're giving excuses as to why they can't adapt it, why they can't use it.
Yeah.
But for
Yeah.
me, I'm seeing it, and I'm definitely wanting to experiment and test it. So
Man, that's so cool. I love this topic. And guys, this is just, I think that's honestly going to serve as a teaser
yeah,
because, frankly, this is a topic that when you really whittle this down, this could be revolutionary for a lot of boating experiences. Like this
correct.
could radically change a lot of things. So just let's do our parting thoughts and comments on this. I know you got to get to the boat show.
Yep.
And honestly, if I don't get some pictures out of you, I think we're going to break up. We're not going to be friends anymore because I am desperate to see. You better stop by Silent Yachts.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
even though they don't have their freaking boat there, I'm sure because they've
Well,
taken this
they have one boat
goofy.
there in the water, so I don't know which boat it is. They were supposed to have a Silent 60 there, I believe, but at the last minute they moved it for some reason or another.
That is cheesy bait and switch. I don't appreciate it.
But supposedly they have some boat in the water, so I'm gonna go dig around and see, and
Love it.
maybe we can get them on a future show.
Yeah. Oh hell
Possibly.
yeah! I
I'm
would
gonna
love
see.
to. I would kiss their feet and also stab them in the back. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what I can dig up out there at the boat show. I'll take some video, maybe
Cool.
I'll take some footage, and we can weave it into what we've got going on here at
Put
some
it on your
point.
TikTok, dude. You guys have been killing it on
Yeah,
TikTok. I know
yeah,
it's not necessarily
yeah,
your boat, but I mean,
yeah,
heck, that's kind of cool. And
yeah.
then
No,
if you see Sunreef out there, you can go ahead and just side eye them. Like, they're kind of the alternative out there to Silent Yachts, and you can
yeah,
kind of like wink at them. Don't really go talk to them though.
yeah.
Like, just Tell them that Jason's side eyeing them just a little bit.
Yeah. No, I'm equal opportunity, man. I'll see what I can. I'll see what I can dig up.
Love it.
I will hopefully make lots of connections for future appearances
So cool.
on this here live cast. Hint, hint,
Yeah.
and see what knowledge I can dig up.
How
So
cool would that be? That'd be so fun. Hey, since we're on the topic, I got to throw up my last ones. These are my dark horse that I might actually pull the trigger on one day.
yeah,
Green Line. They have their hybrid that's actually a legit cruiser for our size, journey.
mm,
Perfect for something like the Great Loop. It's kind of a trawler, kind of a cruiser. I don't really know what to call it, but they've got the option with their Torpedo deep blue drive engine that or motor that you can actually just go solar just fine out the box, and their prices aren't astronomical. That's my
yeah.
problem with all these guys. They are marking up their prices beyond really where their justification is right now. And I know that's a weird comment because honestly, the market demand is what drives that. What will people buy? That's what the market price
Well,
is.
the reality is obviously, and I hope I don't hurt any feelings too bad here.
You're
Is
gonna hurt my feelings really bad, I can tell.
most of these products and parts are coming out of not the US,
Right.
right? So they're coming from overseas. So they're substantially less expensive, less
Right.
costly. They're
The
less
markup
costly.
is too much.
Yeah. So I mean, from what the vendors think that everybody in the boating space has tons of disposable income, which
It's just not true.
which probably isn't factual.
Right.
They justify marking things up however many thousands of percent they do.
To keep the
So
luxury.
the stuff doesn't really cost as much as it does cost.
Yeah,
But when it gets here, it magically to the US, it magically becomes costly.
exactly.
So yeah, so there's other alternatives which I'm always seeking out as well in
Mhm.
my journeys and research. Um, so hint hint, some of you guys may want to do that stuff too. It's not really that difficult to network and make connections in the big internet world that we live in today. That connections are at lightning speed, and you can cross the world without crossing the world.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I mean, so go ahead, Jason.
Well, no, I'm just gonna wrap us up because I know we gotta go, and we wanted to keep this one a little more brief.
Yeah,
My parting thoughts, and then I'll leave you with the final word.
yeah,
My final thoughts on this is that sail kites, whatever you wanna call them, at being in their infancy, have a dynamic opportunity to shake up a space that hasn't really moved in
that's right.
eons.
Yep,
Eons,
yep,
and I mean, the stuff it's made out of has changed, the fabrics, the materials, the all that stuff is slightly changed, but when you really boil it down, the sailing structure itself has not changed in eons.
yep.
Now you introduce something like a mastless sail,
Hmm.
and suddenly you go, "What?" And I really am curious to see how this develops.
Yeah. So with me, the like Jason said, this sailing space is rigid. The people in it are extremely, and not saying this in an offensive way, they're extremely stubborn. Um, they don't want to adapt a lot of times to new things. They want to stay with the proven stuff, which I can totally understand. Um, but if this continues to work as well as it does, I don't see any reason why somebody wouldn't want to use this as at least an assist,
Right.
at least kite assist. Don't depend on it totally for all of your propulsion, but a kite assist, like
Yeah.
who doesn't want assistance, right? That
Right.
to get them um, further for less money, right? There's really not a lot of maintenance to the kites either. That wasn't something we touched on, but we can later in a future episode. There's no rigging, right? There's lines, but there's no rigging, and there's not really a lot of maintenance associated with this setup, so to speak. Any of them really. with the motorized one or the non-motorized one, there's not really lots of parts to break, and the parts that um, need maintenance are not super expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm really fascinated and intrigued with all of it, and want to see how it progresses as well. And like I say on every single episode, for me, and I think for most people out there, the whole boating space and doing what we're doing is all a big experiment. It's all 100. And you know what? Many things fail. They don't work. And some things do, and the things that do, you just keep doing more of, and you just throw away the ones that don't work. But you learn along the way, wow, this was pretty cool. And maybe it's just not ready yet. So yeah, I'm very interested in seeing how the kite stuff evolves for sure.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been a short and brief episode. It's actually more in line with what we target each time, and then we just
Yeah.
keep going. Um, I'm going to blame it on Patrick. The fact that he's not here is why we're wrapping up early.
Keep going.
He's like the least talkative of the group, though.
Yeah, I keep
Uh,
going. Yeah, go ahead.
as far as moving forward, we have mentioned a few times on previous episodes that we're considering how we're going to continue with the show, whether to continue with the show. Um, I think what we're going to do is we're going to continue with weekly, at least for the foreseeable. Aaron and I will definitely be mainstays. Patrick may come and go as he's able, but we're going to continue with weekly, and then we will reevaluate maybe after the new year and see, do we want to keep going weekly? Let us know in the comments what you think. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, follow, comment all the channels. We got Extraordinary Horizons, Soul Seeker, Sailing Electra. In the description, there are links to everything we talked about today. Hope that's been helpful for you guys. From Belhaven, North Carolina, aboard Soul Seeker. See ya. And Aaron,
Hey guys, take care. Have an amazing weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. See ya.